telogen effluvium just doesn't end on its own. And here's what you don't know. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the telogen effluvium phase. Hair growth goes into 3 different phases, and majority of the time you are dealing with the telogen effluvium phase, which is the resting and the shedding phase. Lately, I've been getting a lot of DMs on my social media account on my Instagram, and I've noticed that some people are very confused because they're constantly asking me if the hair is in the catagen phase and it goes into the telogen phase, it automatically goes into the anagen phase, which is the growth phase. And that is not correct. It doesn't automatically go into the anagen phase. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly what is happening, why your hair phase is not going into the anagen phase. And by the end of this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can deal with this problem strategically and how you can tackle this at home starting today. So make sure you watch the video until the end. So as I talked about, hair growth cycle happens in 3 phases: anagen, catagen, telogen. Anagen is the growth phase, catagen is the resting phase, telogen is the shedding phase. Usually this phase happens, but it ends very fast and it goes into the anagen phase. The anagen phase stays 5 years depending on your situation. Sometimes the phase is even longer, so that's why some people can achieve thicker, longer hair for a long period of time. Now, I'm not going to go too much in depth about these phases because we can talk about that in a different video. But what is happening is when you're experiencing a lot of physical stress, emotional stress, lack of iron, or not enough protein for a long period of time, this is when your hair growth is affected and your hair transitions into telogen phase and stays into the telogen phase. Now, when you are experiencing these things, okay, let's say for example, you are experiencing these things for about 6 months to 8 months. And then after the 8-month period, you don't have that stress anymore. It's gone. Your problem is solved. You're not stressed anymore. But in that time, your hair has not entered the telogen phase. So you're not going to experience a shedding during that time. When you're going to experience it is 3 to 6 months after the fact, which is why majority of the people are going to be confused. I'm not suffering from any type of stress. Why am I losing hair? If you're in that same boat right now, I know what you're going through because I have been there, and my telogen phase was in its phase for 3 years. 3 years is a very long time for shedding. I was completely bald. This also relates to very extreme diets when, especially for women do this a lot when they are about to get married, like in the next 6 months or 8 months, they want to shed the maximum amount of weight. So you go into a very extreme low calorie diet, low carbohydrate diet, about 500 to 800 calories. This is the time where your hair is going to go in the telogen phase, and it's going to stay in that phase for a long period of time, even after you have gone back to your normal diet, because it takes time for it to recover. So it's going to take 3 to 6 months. It's going to be afterwards you stopped your dieting and after you have gone through that event. Then 3 to 6 months after, you're going to start shedding like crazy. So if you are experiencing this right now, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This also happens when you have a very high sugar intake or insulin resistance. Your hair follicles get damaged with very high sugar intake and insulin resistance because it is not getting the blood flow it needs. Your follicles become constricted and your circulation does not go into that area. Also, your hair stays into the telogen phase when you have high fever and you don't deal with that high fever right away. I personally, in my pharmaceutical career, have seen many people who have consistent high fever and they don't take any medication for it and they don't deal with it right away. They think it's going to go away on its own, thinking that they are strong. I don't need anything. It will go on its own, and it doesn't. Yes, it will go away on its own, maybe after a week, maybe after 4 days. But what is happening is you are damaging your hair, you are damaging your scalp. So your hair transitions from the catagen phase to the telogen phase, and it stays in the telogen phase without going into the anagen phase. And if by mistake your hair cycle goes into the anagen phase, and you experience this fever, you don't deal with the fever, it will go back to the telogen phase and it will stay in that phase. A lot of you experience emotional stress, financial stress, and because of the emotional and financial stress at nighttime, you will tend to have a temperature about 103, and then you will think, I can just go to work, I don't have to worry about it, it will go away on its own. This is when you are damaging your scalp the most. You are making your scalp so vulnerable to damage. You're not even thinking about your scalp at this time. You're only thinking about yourself and your survival. And so are your body parts, and so is your blood circulation. Your blood is going to go to saving your organs. It's going to go to saving your heart, your lungs, your kidney, your liver during your high fever. So if you think that your high fever is not going to affect your hair, you are completely wrong. You need to deal with a high fever the same exact day it's happening. You need to take medication. You need to deal with it. You need to go to the doctor. Do whatever you have to do, but deal with that temperature. Deal with that fever. Now, I'm going to be telling you exactly what is happening and how to fix it. Let's say, for example, you're taking high protein diet. You're taking all supplements. You're taking your iron. You're taking your vitamin D. You're taking your B complex. You're taking your omega-3s. And still nothing is happening. And still you are shedding hair. You know what is happening? I'm going to tell you what is happening. Your gut is not working properly. Your gut is not working properly. It is not breaking down your vitamins and your minerals and your protein that you are eating. It's not breaking it down properly. This is where the problem is happening. And this is why all of your food, your supplements, your protein remains undigested. And if you are specifically targeting your protein, and sometimes you have a high protein diet, for example, 40 to 50 grams of protein, and when you eat it, you feel sick, you feel bloated, that's exactly what the issue is. You are not able, your gut is not able to digest that protein. And this is why it's causing problems, because of your gut not working properly. Now, before I tell you on how to fix your gut to make it work properly, we need to talk about protein intake. Now, the online fitness industry talks about high protein diets, high protein this, high protein that. Now, there is a amount you should be taking. You don't need to go crazy with 200 grams of protein per day, 300 grams of protein per day. That's only for bodybuilders, and that's only for people who are actually competing professionally. For you and for me, we are regular people. You're not looking into competing professionally. We're not looking into becoming big or very muscular. So you need to take 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Now, for example, myself, my goal is to be 120 pounds. And right now I still need to lose 50 pounds more. So what I'm going to do is, because my goal is 120 pounds, I'm going to eat protein for that amount. So I'm basically targeting 120 grams of protein in the entire day. I was breaking it down into 2 meals. Now I'm breaking it down into 3. So if you are, for example, whatever weight you are, you need to take that much amount of protein in your diet. You need to calculate it. To calculate my own, I use Chronometer. It is a free app. I just log all my food and I make sure that I'm hitting my macros, I'm hitting my protein, I'm hitting my carbs, I'm hitting my fats. Because if these are out of control, if your protein intake is too low, if it's like 20 or 30 grams in the whole day, I can guarantee you anything, your hair is not going to get fixed. Because hair is protein, it is keratin, it's made out of protein and needs protein in order for it to grow. Now, let's say you're hitting your protein targets, it's not getting absorbed, and your hair health is not improving. Now let's fix your gut. Let's talk about fixing your gut. Okay, you're gonna take apple cider vinegar and balsamic vinegar shots in the dinner time. Now, why am I mentioning dinner time? Let's say you have 3 meals a day. So why are you only taking it dinner time? Because when you are starting off with apple cider vinegar and balsamic vinegar shots, and you start too much too quickly, your stomach is going to be very upset. You're going to feel sick to your stomach. You're not going to be able to eat. So you're going to start at dinner time once a day. You're going to make the shot. I'm going to show you how to make the shot. One day, let's say on Monday, you're going to take apple cider vinegar. On Tuesday, you're going to take balsamic vinegar. On Wednesday, you're going to take apple cider vinegar. On Thursday, you're going to take balsamic vinegar. On Friday, you're going to take apple cider vinegar. So you can see the pattern. You're alternating. And the reason for this is because they're both made up of different compounds. They both have different properties. They both have different targets that they work on. Balsamic vinegar is more like an antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. It is still a vinegar, so it does work for digestion. Apple cider vinegar is very sour. You have to take it with the mother, and it's made from apples, so you're going to taste a tangy flavor. Always make sure you are taking it with a straw. Otherwise, your tooth enamel, you're going to wear it down. It's going to damage your teeth because of the acidity in these two acids. So take it before dinner, have your dinner, and do this consistently every single day. And over time, you will realize that suddenly your stomach is starting to feel better. And when you feel like your digestion is better, then you're going to notice that your supplements are also digesting better. Your protein is being broken down better. And that protein is then going to get digested properly into your body. It's going to get digested properly into your body, and then it will be able to travel to the hair and give you thicker, healthier, shinier hair strands that you are striving for and you are spending a lot of money on, because supplements and food is a lot of money, and having a healthy diet costs a lot of money. So start taking these shots and you will see a huge difference. And when you start taking these shots, you will also notice that your iron is improving too. You are taking iron capsules every day with vitamin C, but your iron levels are not going above 10 or 33. This is a sign that your gut is not working properly. So if you look at it, your gut is the main center of your entire body. Your entire body is dependent on your gut. It is dependent on your gut health. It is dependent on your stomach acid. It's not just about taking probiotics. You can take probiotics, but probiotics will work in the intestine. Works in the small intestine, works in the large intestine. It does not work in your stomach and your acid. So you have low stomach acid, which is why your food is not being absorbed properly, which is why your protein is not being absorbed properly, which is why your supplements are not being broken down properly. It's because of a low stomach acid issue. So when you take these two acids alternating each day, you are not only improving your stomach acid, you are improving the bile and you're improving the enzymes in your stomach to help break down the food, to help break down the protein. Now, to optimize your protein, if you break it down into 3 meals, it will be easier for you to digest. It will be easier on your stomach compared to taking it into 2 meals. For example, I target 120 grams of protein per day. Now, when I take 60 grams of protein in my first meal, which is at 12 p.m., and my second meal, which is at 6:30 p.m., and I take 60 grams of protein, my stomach is not happy. Even after taking this apple cider vinegar and the balsamic vinegar, my stomach cannot handle it. So I've decided to break it down into 3 meals. So that is a lesser amount. It's 40, 40, 40. And then I can hit my targets, and it's going to be easier to eat and easier to digest, because eating a large amount of protein in one sitting becomes very difficult, not only just to eat it physically, but also to swallow it and to stomach it. So after I switched to 3 meals and targeting my protein, I noticed a significant change in my hair health, in the silkiness and in the growth. Like, I cut my bangs just last month and they're already grown out. You can see they're already this long. And I had cut them really, really short that they were sticking up. So it does help with your hair growth. And yes, protein is very important, although you don't need to go crazy for protein. Although you don't need to go too crazy over protein. You don't need to go over 100 or over 200. That is too much. Try and stick with natural protein sources instead of whey protein or protein powder, because you'll be able to digest natural protein sources easily. Stick with low-fat cottage cheese, fat-free Greek yogurt, egg white, whole eggs. You can do a haddock fish. You can do salmon. Salmon is a fatty fish, so you will get omega-3 from that. You can do chicken breast. You can do chicken thighs or chicken drums. You can do You can do steak sometimes because that's high in iron, but not too much because it's also high in fat. So you want to try and balance these 3 macros. So you download Chronometer. They don't know about me. This is not sponsored, just so you know. But I use it every single day. I'll show you here on the screen. I try and target 120 grams of protein. Sometimes it's really hard to do that. Sometimes I reach there, but it's a struggle. It's a constant struggle. But it's my recommendation to stick to natural sources. If you are vegan, then obviously you're going to take tofu, you're going to take paneer, you're going to do lentils, and you're going to do beans that are high in protein. But that's going to be very hard for you to target large amounts of protein and keeping calories low, because these are also very calorie dense foods. So you're going to have to play around with the food groups and then figure out how you can achieve your protein targets. But just remember, protein is very important for hair growth. But while you are taking protein, gut health is more important. Because if your gut is not working properly, your protein is basically, there's no point of wasting that money on your protein. Okay, so here is how you're going to make the drink. I'm going to show you one by one. So you're going to take about this much water, right? And you're going to heat it for 30 seconds. That's enough. And then you're going to take apple cider vinegar, right? This is with the mother. So make sure you take it with the mother. You're going to just mix it. And then you're going to take 1 tablespoon like that. And you're going to put it in there. Mix it. And then you're going to drink it with the straw. And you need to drink it with the straw because the acid is going to wear and tear against your tooth enamel. And you don't want that. So drink it with the straw right before your dinner. Even if it's like 5 minutes before dinner, that's still okay because it will start to work right away. So if on Monday you're going to drink apple cider vinegar before dinner, then on Tuesday you're going to drink balsamic vinegar. Right? Balsamic vinegar. So again, you're going to take a glass with this much water. You're going to heat it up for 30 seconds. And then you're going to take 1 tablespoon, full tablespoon, mix it, and then drink it again with the straw. So balsamic vinegar is a little bit stronger than apple cider vinegar in terms of taste. So the first time you drink it, if you're not used to balsamic vinegar in your salads, it's going to be a little bit difficult for you to drink. But then over time, you'll get used to it. And then you will understand and feel in your own body how it actually feels when your food is getting absorbed correctly. And how your food is getting extracted from the minerals and the vitamins, and it's going into your body instead of being released in your bowel movements undigested. And keep doing this for 3 to 4 months and you will see a difference for sure. But then after that, you're going to want to keep it in your diet for many, many years to come. And that's going to really help you not only absorb the vitamins and minerals from the supplements that you eat, but you will also see that when your gut health improves, your hair will also improve. Okay, so work on these things. Keep taking your supplements, target your protein, make sure you're having enough carbs in the day, and take your shots and start to notice a difference. And when you do notice a difference, I want you to comment down below. Come back to this video and comment down below because I want to see. And it is always my wish, if I can make a difference in one person's life, if I can improve even one person's life for the better, that will make my mission complete of starting this channel and sharing my knowledge and my expertise on here. And lastly, to end it, I'm going to add this video to a playlist. So make sure you watch the playlist. And the only reason I'm telling you to watch the playlist is because all the videos, when you go through them step by step and everything, and you hear everything that I've explained, growing your hair, fixing your diet, fixing your gut, knowing what supplements to take and when to take them is going to become so easy for you. Hair growth is going to be like a piece of cake for you. And if you start that today, let's say you sit down and you watch the entire playlist today. If you start that today, make sure you are taking notes. Make sure you always have a book with you and start taking notes because it's a lot of information. Start writing it down and start implementing it. I can guarantee you that by the end of December of this year, you're going to have hair growth, you're going to have healthier hair, and not only healthier hair, you're going to have a healthier body and a fully functional working body. You will have more energy, less stress, and better health, better skin, and more happiness. I'm telling you, this stuff works. So watch the playlist, write things down, say with the paper and pen. Don't watch these videos while walking around or driving or doing other things, because I'm telling you, you're not going to remember it. You're not going to be able to follow it. And then you're going to still struggle with your hair. And I don't want that for you. I want this year to be the best year for you. I want this year for you to have hair growth, for you to reverse your hair loss, for you to fill in those patches, for you to stop your telogen phase and stay in the anagen phase without using minoxidil, without using finasteride, without using spironolactone. So comment down below, start today. I want you to comment this word, start today, so that you are holding yourself accountable for what you're going to do in the next days to come.